Welcome to another episode of OG55 Live. It is OG55 with Mr. Webba in the house, our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Webba and OG will be taking your questions today on OG55 Live. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another fine episode of OG55 with Mr. Webba edition. It is Mr. Webba and I today. Mr. Italiano and his fiance are at Disneyland right now. So Webba and I are holding down the fort. Mr. Webba, it is always an honor and a pleasure having you on the show, brother.
OG, thank you so much for having me on, man. I always love doing these live shows. Always great to have the people in, down in the comments and chatting up. And real quick, Kiki and Luca, thank you so much for joining. Me and OG and the crew will be doing a video for your trip to Japan. Don't worry, I have not forgotten. So just letting you know.
Yeah, we are doing that video. Kiki and Luca went to Japan, and we're going to talk all about Tokyo Disney Resort and all that good stuff. He sent us a bunch of pictures, so we're planning that very, very soon. So look for that on the channel very soon. But Kiki and Luca, member for 6 months. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Kiki and Luca. Thanks, OG and Webba. Love you guys, and we love you too. We absolutely love you too. Let's see here. We got Mr. Matthew Murr in the house with 10 euros. And again, Matthew, thank you for being a member as well. I believe Matthew's a 6-month member as well. So thank you, Matthew. If either of you were chief creative officer of Disney Animation in 2011, would you have made Frozen or Wreck-It Ralph hand-drawn to try to avert the decline, or even another completely original hand-drawn flick? Okay, so Matthew, Wreck-It Ralph needed to be computer animation due to the theme of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole video game thing, that would be weird, I think, in hand-drawn, right? It wouldn't work as well. Frozen, this is gonna be, I think, surprise people. I loved it in computer animation. I think that the detail and everything in that movie, Elsa's face with the rosy cheeks, the whole thing, it really worked. I think the details and all the dresses and like the details on like the wood and everything on the buildings, like the wood paneling, I think it was really beautifully done in computer animation. So I would have kept Frozen as CGI. I thought it worked really well in that medium. Now, but Matthew, what I would have done is I would have had more hand-drawn animation in the mix, original hand-drawn animation. I think Disney has really dropped the ball when it comes to hand-drawn animation. I don't know why they completely abandoned it. I think that it would have been a good idea to sort of have both, let both exist. Both are beautiful forms of animation, whether it's CGI or hand-drawn. And unfortunately, when it comes to full-length animation, they just kind of gave up on the hand-drawn stuff. So if I was running Disney Animation, they would definitely get back into some more hand-drawn. Now, realistically, I understand, right, that you can't go completely back to the past, right? Like computer or CGI animation is here to stay. So I wouldn't completely revert the studio back. I would just incorporate maybe every third or fourth film, make it a hand-drawn one, you know? And there's an appetite for it. People still love those movies. People still love Lion King. People still love Aladdin. People still love Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid. And you know, I mean, people love hand-drawn animation, so why not give the people what they want? But Mr. Ebba, what about you, brother? What do you think? 2011, what would you do?
Well, I mean, I actually agree with you, OG, about about Wreck-It Ralph needing to be the computer animation because of the theme around the video games, right? And then with Frozen, I mean, Frozen itself is just a great movie, and I don't think it would have worked as well as a 2D. I mean, maybe it could have, but I really like it how it is in the 3-dimensional world. With that being said, though, I love 2D animation. Like all the, again, all of the movies prior to the 3D stuff, always classics, always great. Princess and the Frog, I believe was like the last 2D like film. And that's a fantastic movie. But now I'm wondering though, yes, we have the technology now to have like the 3-dimensional, worlds and characters. and I understand that it might be more efficient to do that versus like the hand drawn, but couldn't it, like, isn't there like a type of technology and software or whatnot where Disney could still make 2D graphics or animation, so to speak, but with computers instead of actually hand drawing it, but it still looks like 2D animation?
Yeah, they can absolutely do that. They can mimic hand drawn animation through the computer. They can absolutely do that. So I believe Wish was like that. I believe it wasn't. They didn't hand draw any of that, but it was done in a style that kind of had that like the hand drawn kind of look to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Paperman, the animated short, was done on the computer, and it looks like it's hand drawn. So they can do it that way too. Now the only thing is that there is something though to be said about the animator, pencil to paper,
Right.
That rawness. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound
Yeah.
dirty, but that rawness where they're drawing it and they're putting their emotion into it as they're flipping the pages, right? I just feel there's something to that. But you know what? Hey, beggars can't be choosers. If Disney doesn't want to invest in hand drawn animation like desks and all that, the materials that come along with that, by all means, just mimic that style in computer, and I'd be fine with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and I get it. I get it. Right, from a business perspective, if you have a type of technology or tool that can utilize the time to create things faster than drawing something, pen and paper on a desk, for businesses, time is money. They're not going to want to kind of waste. I wouldn't say waste, but utilize a lot of that time that they could use it for other things in the same project.
Right.
So that's why I think they won't ever really go back to actual sitting at a desk with your lamp, 2D, animating stuff, even though you're pouring your heart and soul into these pages. But I would like to see the form of 2D back, even like a full 2D movie. I mean, like you said, right? We saw some of that with Wish, and also even like in the movie Puss in Boots, the start of like the
Watch your mouth, young man. Watch your mouth. Not kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. I had to throw a joke in there,
No, you're good. You're good. But the recent Puss in Boots movie, that was really well done. It was 3D animation, but then like Wish it had like that kind of 2D aspect, especially with the fights. That was really cool. But I would love to see it kind of return to format a little bit, because like you said, I don't see why we can't have both. Why can't we have both 2D and then both 3D? Like, I don't know why we can't have both and pick a medium that actually works really well for the story you're trying to tell.
Well said, bro. I completely agree with you on that. Absolutely. Yeah, and I do agree with you. All jokes aside, the Puss in Boots animation style was really, really cool. How they kind of made it look kind of like painted or whatever.
Yeah, that was cool.
It worked really well with that particular like IP. I thought that fairy tale kind of style was awesome. We got Cliffix in the house. Cliffix, haven't seen you in a while. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Cliffix. Cliffix is a really, really nice guy. We appreciate you, sir. And we got Mr. Theme Park Casual in the house. Hey kids, what is going on, Mr.
Casual? What's up, Cliffix?
Yes, and both of these gentlemen, whether it be Casual or Cliffix, are both on YouTube. But make sure you check them out on YouTube. They do fantastic work. And we got member for 6 months, Rick Nick. Thank you so much for being a member for so long, sir. We do appreciate you. Thank you for the great content. Appreciate y'all. Yes, thank you, and we appreciate you. And yeah, I mean, Rick Nick, for members and stuff, we're gonna do this thing like I believe you submitted a question, if I'm not mistaken, or a topic where we are taking member topics and we're making entire videos based on those topics. So we're going to be doing it again very, very soon, Rick Nick. So make sure you submit another topic, because it's coming. It is absolutely coming. Theme Park Casual said the Wild Robot was excellent. I've heard nothing but amazing things about that movie. Have you seen that, Mr. Webba?
I have not. However, I did watch Transformers 1. And even though that movie was, fully CGI computer graphics, I thought it was really good, because here's a problem with, and I know this isn't the Wild Robot, but with Transformers 1, the trailers did not do the movie justice. I think the initial trailers hurt the movie, because that movie was a really good movie. And I remember back in the day seeing Transformers in like the 2D style, but the way they did the 3D animation graphics with Transformers 1 was really well done. Story was great. It was funny. Good movie. But yeah, Casual, I have not seen the Wild Robot. I believe George the Italiano has. Right. And he said it was good. So yeah.
Yeah, I've heard from multiple people, including George and now Casual, that movie is absolutely incredible. So it's on my list, and I will definitely watch it. It looks like a tearjerker. It really does. Yes, definitely got to check it out. We got, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm gonna call you Jazzy JC. Jazzy JC says, "Keep up the good work, fellas." Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Mr. Matthew Murr, all the way from the UK. Now, Mr. Webba, this is exclusively in all caps for you. Exclusively. What would you personally have done to try and fix Wish? I'd hire a new writing team while toning back the marketing just a bit. Can't do one without the other. Did you see Wish?
I did see Wish, yes.
Okay, so what do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's exclusively for you, because I did not see it. It's still on my list.
Oh man, it's on the list.
On my list.
Yeah, so I watched Wish. So real quick, I give it about like a solid 7. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty solid. It was good. I thought it was solid.
Right.
I did have some issues with it though. But let me start with some of the good stuff. I like how they did bring back kind of like that hybrid, again, kind of going back to the animation theme. I liked how they brought that kind of hybrid style of like 3D and like 2D in there. I thought that was really cool. I like when the movie starts, I guess, spoiler alert a little bit, how it starts. It starts like your typical kind of fairy tale movie like Beauty and the Beast, where it has like the book, it opens, and I can kind of use like a written inscription of what's happening. I thought that was really cool, back to the old school fairy tale format. I do like that. I thought it was interesting that the story kind of takes place like on this kind of secluded island, basically this town, the city. And I do like I like when movies have magic stuff in it, so that's what this had. However, the songs in the movie weren't bad, but a lot of the songs in the movie didn't fit, if you catch what I mean. So for example, songs in like these Disney movies, especially these animated films, are a big theme, right? These movies need to be bangers.
Right.
And these songs, they weren't bad, but the problem was they didn't fit in the scenario or the musical note scene that they were doing at that time. It just didn't work. Like I remember one particular instance, one musical note kind of towards the end of the movie before the finale. There were like in like this little like the little dungeon area or whatever, and the type of musical melodies and instrumentation you heard, it was very weird. I was like, okay, it's not bad at all, but this doesn't fit here. And that's how I felt a lot with the music. And unfortunately, because a lot of the music is a high theme for me in these type of films, it kind of brought the score down for me a little bit.
Okay, that's interesting that you say that. So for a movie like Beauty and the Beast, right? The music, and this is why I love Howard Ashman. Howard Ashman is the absolute GOAT. Okay, he was an incredible human being, and his legacy lives on very much so to this day. But with the great thing about like a movie like say Beauty and the Beast, the songs don't feel like, okay, we're stopping the story now, and now we're gonna sing a song. You know,
right?
Is that kind of how it felt for Wish? Because I didn't see it. Did it feel like the movie stops for the song and then the movie continues? Or, you know, is that what you're kind of saying here, where they didn't feel like they really fit? Because in the old school stuff, it blended in so seamlessly into the story and it advanced the story, right?
Some of the songs did, some of them didn't, but no, it wasn't that specifically. It was the type of song and the musical instruments of what they were using playing for the song, if you get what I mean. So for the type of movie this is, the instruments, the melodies, the song itself for that scene just didn't fit for me. So it was like, it's a good song, but it doesn't fit in this section, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and then the other thing was, again, like the Italiano who we love. I didn't like how the villain, you know, came to his demise. I wish it was a lot darker. Personally,
Yeah.
I do like a good villain death, like how George says.
Right.
So I wish it went back to that, but unfortunately, I don't think Disney will ever really do that anymore. But overall, and again, it's solid 7. I watched it. So those are the things I would change. I would make the songs fit better in those scenes that I'm talking about. And then I would give a good villain death for sure. Absolutely.
There it is. There it is. Cassandra is in the house. We love Cassandra. Hi, everyone. I'm here for a Webba rant. We got to get Webba ranting on something. Either it's going to be Galaxy's Edge or insurance. One of those two things. Gets his guy riled up. He gets his guy really riled up. And we got Cliffix here with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Cliffix. We do appreciate you, sir. Thank you very, very much. This is a great question. Wow. When will animators be replaced by AI with entire movies made with scenes using complex prompts? 10 years? Is it inevitable? Nothing stopping it? This is the thing, Cliffix. I hate this. And you're not wrong. It's probably going to happen. You're absolutely not wrong. But I hate this. Because there's something to be said about that human touch when it comes to film, right? You take a movie like Star Wars, for example, right? Harrison Ford in that iconic scene with Leia, right? I love you. I know. That would not have happened if AI was taking over and creating these scenes. That scene only happened, that iconic, memorable scene only happened because of Harrison Ford. I think he was like in his 30s at the time. His life experience, his personality at that moment did that scene, did that moment. That was him coming out into that impromptu, right? You're not going to get that from an AI, okay? So the human element, we have a good friend here on the channel, contributor here on the channel, Jay Shear, okay? He just directed his first short film, No Vacancy. Great short film. And he was talking about in the process of making that film and filming it, a lot of the actors and actresses actually contributed to a lot of their characters' personalities, right? And there'd be a lot of stuff that was in there that they would add to it, and it would change the characters even, right? Because those people added to their characters. When you have all AI and it's all prompts and all that stuff, you're not going to get any of that stuff in there, man. And it's horrible. Now, to answer your question, how long? Here's the thing. Here is where things might get a little bit. Oh yeah, Drew, the Disney dude in the house. What's going on, Drew?
What's up,
is
Drew?
Going on? Here's where it gets a little complicated. Cliffix is all the unions. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of issues with replacing animators and things like that when you have the unions involved. So I think that'll prevent the growth of AI spreading too fast, which is good. I don't want it to go too fast. AI is a real issue. It really, really is. I was scrolling through my stupid Instagram and there was an ad, okay, Cliffix, because I'm a content creator, so I get a lot of ads about content creation and what have you. There was an ad that I ran across where it's an app and it uses AI. So you basically feed this AI, I don't know, maybe like a clip or two of yourself, like talking, and the AI can make content for you. So you won't even have to record a video anymore. The AI will use your image, like it's you right here, right? And your voice, and it will create the content for you. So the content creator doesn't even have to get in front of the camera anymore. It creates it for you. I'm like, that's so dumb. That's so stupid. That takes all the heart and soul out of it, right? Eb and I are up here. We are real people, real opinions, real personalities. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it fun. I think that's why people watch, is because of that. Who wants to watch some AIOG spewing out? I don't know, man. I hate it, Cliffix. I hope that as a society, we're able to, yes, utilize the technology. Yes, you don't want to completely kill progress. At the same time, though, you also don't want to let it run amok. You don't want this to take over. So that's a real balancing act. And can human beings, can they have some self-control and not go overboard with the AI? It's a big question mark. I don't know about 10 years, but it's probably coming, unfortunately. We'll see. But what say you, Eva, AI, animators? What do you think, brother?
Yeah, so going off what you were saying is, and I completely agree. However, 10 years, no, I'd probably a little bit longer, just because of lawsuits, regulations, all of that stuff has to be in place. You have to make sure people are protected from all the AI stuff. And here's the thing: you put in graphical artist prompts or descriptions for a picture. Where usually pictures come out pretty good, but then you get somebody who has 3 eyeballs, or the background faces are all distorted. People have 4 6 fingers, 5 toes with a freaking one that's stretching all the way out here. You get really weird stuff that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So for AI to create entire scenes, that make sense and are like replicas of the real world, I think it's going to take a lot of time. Now, yes, AI is moving rapidly. Like I'm going to say right here, I play around with Suno AI all the time. It is super fun. I can type in like a short like sentence or two of what I want to hear about. Sorry, excuse me. And then it gives me like 2 to 3 different versions of what I'm talking about for a certain style I want to listen to.
Right.
Now, it's really cool. I have a lot of fun with it, but I'm not going to go out and make money with it or anything, but that's just for me to enjoy. So AI has a long way to go for anything that is believable, really, and more that can mimic real life stuff. However, it is coming fast and it does need to be controlled like hard, I think, because you don't want it to let it get out of control. I mean, we just had all those strikes because of the AI situation in Hollywood.
Yes, exactly, which impacted, ironically enough, impacted Wish, because they couldn't even promote the movie like they could because of all the strikes and all that. So it's
exactly.
Yep. Theme park conductor is in the house. What's up, conductor? He is on YouTube. Check him out on YouTube. His Conductor Thursdays, which I believe is coming up in about an hour, if I'm not mistaken. He says here, if you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe to OG55. And check out to be a member. Thank you so much, conductor. We do appreciate the shout out. 100%.
And real quick, the other Thursday, I can't remember if it was last Thursday or the Thursday before, I was on theme park conductor's channel for 3 hours, a 3-hour video we did, man, by Universal Disney. Go check it out.
Yeah. 3 hours, bro. 3 hours. A great conversation between you two. Absolutely. We got the Italiana in the house. The Italiana in the house. Abby. Hey everyone, what is going on, Abby? And then we got the Italiano in the house, George Falcione, Mr. Italian. Glad to see all the cool peeps out there in Ebba too. Oh yeah.
Thanks, George.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go. We got Cliffix. Cliffix, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. We do appreciate you, brother. Really nice of you, man. We do appreciate that. Thank you. You absolutely must go to Tokyo Disneyland, Disney Sea soon. I must go. I just got back from there and my mind was completely blown. It was crazy, phenomenal. Yeah, I saw a video, Cliffix, buddy of mine, Showcase of Wishes on Twitter and Instagram. He sent me a video. You were talking about Splash Mountain over there. Great stuff. Yeah, I want to go. I absolutely want to go to Tokyo Disney. The only problem though, Cliffix, if I go to Tokyo Disney, I'm probably not going to come back. I'm probably going to live in Japan. So my friends and family will probably miss me. No, in all seriousness though, I really want to check it out. It looks like an amazing resort. Disney Sea, like especially, looks absolutely incredible. And I even want to like go beyond Disney though. When I go to Japan, I want to explore Tokyo. I want to explore the culture, the food, just everything about it. I really think it'd be a really cool place to kind of experience. And I want to take just a month, man, and just freaking just go all out in Tokyo and Japan, And again, I probably won't come back. What about you, Emma?
Well,
are you coming back? Are you coming back? Or are you gonna stay out there with me?
No, I'm coming back for sure.
Okay,
I'm coming back. Yeah, I'll leave. Like, okay, you know what? This guy, spiky haired guy, can stay here.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But Tokyo Disneyland. I mean, that's always been a thing. Like, I've wanted to do. And dude, here's a crazy thing, Cliffix, is that a lot of my coworkers, I would say about 3 of them, maybe 4, have been to Japan the time I've been working at my job. I'm like, bro, like I want to go there, man. It looks so cool because just the quality of Disneyland Tokyo and Disney Sea, right? I really want to see that, but also beyond the park, I want to see like the culture, right? I want to see the architecture, the food, just like the city, the cars, like just everything that like locals kind of see experiencing there. And of course, maybe some too, like maybe some touristy spots as well, like the gardens or whatnot. But Tokyo, like Japan, is just a totally different beast, compared to a lot of places.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Dragon Blood here said OG's gonna date the D23 girl and be her husband. for those of you that, for context, it's like a little like an inside channel joke kind of. back at the D23 Expo, I was talking about our experience. George and Lucas, Kim, and I were having a great time at the expo. We were there all that weekend or whatever. And in like right across from us was this gorgeous Japanese girl. I was like, oh man, I was crushing so hard on this girl, but I never had the balls to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? It was the saddest love story ever told. You know, no, but yeah, she was absolutely amazing, but never said a word to her. But yeah, you never know, Dragon Blood. Maybe that will happen. You know, dreams come true.
Hey, AOG, is that going to be the story of Wish Part 2?
Yeah, right. There you go. Wish Part 2. OG and D23 girl. Cliffix here says Oriental Land Company knows how to do Disney right. I'm certain Walt would be proud. Yeah, absolutely. Disney is very, very lucky that they have a third party operator like OLC that really understands, Cliffix, that Disney difference, the Disney kind of like mission statement, so to speak. Because that could have gone south pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're not Disney. Look what happened with when Children's Place took over the Disney stores. It was kind of a mess. Right? So sometimes you get these third parties and they don't really get Disney. They don't really manage the property that well. OLC, they do a phenomenal job. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely phenomenal. Right. They're a great company. They know what they're doing. So yeah. Cliffix, I want to ask you before I go to you, Webba, in the chat, Cliffix, did they ever bring back their annual passes over there in Tokyo, or are they still completely not selling those? Last I heard, they weren't selling any annual passes at Tokyo Disney. I'm kind of curious if that ever went back, if that ever came back or not. Go ahead, Webba. I do apologize.
No, actually, it kind of leads off of that, and it's also a question for Cliffix as well, and also Kiki and Luca. So you've both been to Tokyo Disneyland, and I've heard while the quality of the park is great, I've heard that Tokyo Disneyland or Disney Sea is super crowded, like way more crowded than ours, and we complain about the crowds. Like I hear that the lines are like stupidly long. Now, if that's the case, could it be possible that the reason why they don't have annual passes is because they're so jam-packed already that if they had annual passes, it would be even more packed than it already is? I just want to ask that question.
Yeah, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. He said he bought a single day park ticket for $65. $65. When was the last time Disneyland Resort had $65 tickets? Probably like, 2002 or something. I don't even know, dude. I mean, that's wild, Cliffix.
Dude, do you remember when like the highest pass was like $500? That was insane, dude. Like,
dude, I remember, man. I've been an AP holder, annual pass holder since 2002. It's been a minute. But back then, yeah, like the premium, I think it was called back then, the premium pass.
Yeah,
it was like $400 or $500 or $600. It wasn't like that much, man. And now that's the cheap one
Yeah, and also too, even on our highest pass now, you're blocked out. Like all the passes have a blockout date through Christmas through New Year's.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why OG. Sorry for cutting you off. I don't understand why. Why do we have the highest pass that's like almost $1,800 that still has blockout dates? What is that? That makes no sense. Like, because I love the video you guys did about like the magic keys and the stuff. I really think that as the prices of magic keys go up, they need to add more perks to these passes, dude. Like either give the Inspire key a full-on lightning lane addition onto the pass, or remove reservations, or do something, because as the prices go up, the lower prices of the passes on the bottom are going to catch up, and then now you're going to be stuck with the same, I mean, sorry to say, but kind of crappy discounts on the lower passes. Like, dude, like, get us better perks on these passes. Come on, like these. Oh my god. I can't stand it, man. It's driving me crazy. And especially right in 5 years, in 2030, how much is going to cost to park? How much is the food going to go? How much is it going to, go to buy your bottle of Coke? You like OG? Well, like $7, $8. How much is Lightning Lane going to be by that time? It's ridiculous. And what is a highest pass going to be like $2,000, $2,500? Add some more perks or better perks to the passes.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, Chef Boy Webba over here, just cooking, man, absolutely cooking. Cassandra here says, "Here comes the rant." I'm telling you, hey, we did a video yesterday about the California fires, the LA fires. Which, by the way, I do want to say on a serious note, in regards to the fires, I'm okay. Webba's okay. Webba's a little further out. He's further south, but I am in LA County. I'm like in between like all these fires, kind of. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. A little smoky out here, but I'm safe. You know, I've been getting these notifications all day long from the county and all that. But we're doing okay with no evacs or anything. But I want to say a big shout out and a lot of love to the men and women of the LA Fire Department. You guys and gals are absolute heroes. And thank you so much. We all here appreciate you. You guys, we're all running away from the fire and you guys are running towards it. You guys are absolute heroes. So we love you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yep, 100%. 100%. Drew, the Disney dude. He says the Walt animatronic is going to be ridiculous. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Drew, if they pull this off, bro, to have a real life Walt Disney, okay, a real life Walt on that stage with Walt's actual voice coming out of that animatronic. It's not going to be AI. Disney's already confirmed it. They're using real audio. I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to get goosebumps. A grown man might cry. I don't know. But that's going to be incredible. They have to stick the landing, though. This is a risk for them, Drew, because if it comes out looking like, if it's off, I think the fans will be upset. I think they really have to hit a home run. I am confident, though, they will. I think this is going to be incredible. I can't wait for it. This is the one thing about the 70th anniversary that I'm super excited about. And Drew, here's the other thing, too. I'm curious your thoughts on this. And we got to get Drew back on the show very, very soon, by the way. But I'm very curious if this thing is a hit, if this Walt animatronic works, it's embraced by fans and the normies. Maybe you guys and gals will get one over there in Walt Disney World, Maybe you'll get one. Maybe they'll add a Walt to the Carousel of Progress or something. That'd be kind of cool. But it would be interesting to see how they utilize that animatronic in other resorts and locations. Remember, we had the partner statue, and then it was duplicated and even reimagined in other resorts around the world, other parks around the world. I bet you, I would almost guarantee you that Walt animatronic will show up at Walt Disney World at some point. But what say you, Mr. Webba?
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely excited for this. And it is going to be a killer audio animatronic. However, I would hope for this animatronic, I'm really hoping that they kill it and we get a lot of detail on our Mr. Walt Disney on it, because I think I said this before, OG, that on some of the other rides, like Tiana's, for example, right, where it's more like a cartoony look to the audio animatronics, because it makes sense, it's a cartoon, it's animated, right? So they look like that more kind of plasticky look. I hope with Walt Disney it's more akin to like Pirates of the Caribbean, where it's more of like that real life skin texture, kind of like some like wrinkles here and there. We can see that detail in the skin. That's what I want to see, because dude, I want to see, and this is like, man, this man is alive. That's what I want to see. And my go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick, I don't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say it's gonna be surreal that the technology that this man, Walt Disney, helped innovate and spearhead, the audio animatronic, is now being utilized to bring them back. It kind of blows my mind, dude. Go ahead. I do apologize.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. The other thing that I have a concern about, not worry, but just a slight concern, and I hope they're able to keep it up, is, with the Disney parks maintenance lately hasn't been really that great, especially with like a lot of the new stuff they've been coming out. But since this is more to like a show rather than like a ride where stuff has to be on sync and queue, not that this doesn't, but I really hope this audio animatronic is maintained well and congruent with the Mr. Lincoln. Yeah. Because otherwise, because I would hate for this thing to come out and then we're already seeing videos on Twitter, on Instagram, or Facebook or whatever, and the thing's like, like
fluid coming out of his collar, and shit like that. Yeah, no, please no, Disney. That's God. You cannot have the Walt Disney animatronic falling apart. That is like the worst optics for the Walt Disney Company in the world. Like, please. It's Florentine is in the house. Florentine, if you had to resurrect one of the canceled Seven Seas Lagoon resorts, which would it be? Arabia, Asian, Mediterranean, Grand Venetian, or anyone would do. Arabian, close to Aladdin. Okay. Here's the thing, Florentine, I'm going to be completely upfront with you. I am not as well versed in Walt Disney World like, say, the Italiano. I've only been one time. I'm much more of a Disneyland guy. But based on the options you gave me, man, I would either choose
Asian.
yeah, well, Asian, yeah, either Arabia or Asian would be my two choices. Because I think that there's a lot of potential with both of those. Disney's going to want to have the IP, and like you were saying, Florentine, Arabian has the Aladdin in there. They can definitely utilize. They still use a lot of Aladdin IP in the parks, so that might be attractive for Burbank. I know, I get it, but this is the real world we live in, and look, they want IP, so it's going to have to be part of the equation. Asian, you also have a lot of IP. You have Raya the Last Dragon, you have Mulan, you have a lot you can kind of pull from. You can even do really like, Big Hero 6 and that franchise. So, yeah. Right. So, and Turning Red actually too. I mean, Asia, there's a lot of IP they can pull from. So yeah, I would either go Asian or Arabian. That's kind of where I'm at. What about you, Webba?
Yeah, I would say probably Arabian, because for the fact I would love to see something Aladdin based. I know IP, but I would love to see something Aladdin based. We have 3 movies of Aladdin. Let's get something in there. Not that crappy Dumbo magic carpet ride that's at Magic Kingdom. Let's get a real good attraction in the parks of Aladdin.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That franchise deserves a dope ride, man. Like some sort of flying carpet through the Cave of Wonders, like badass e-ticket. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Gray Room was messing with me in the I don't think Gray Room is here right now. Maybe on the replay, but Gray Room is a subscriber of the channel, and Gray Room was messing with me in the LA Fire video, saying that there's gonna be a new OG55 drinking game. Every time OG says, "You know what I'm saying," you take a shot. And I just caught myself doing it twice. So, and we're not going to play that drinking game, everybody, because if you did, I don't want anyone getting alcohol poisoning. Okay. So just, putting it out there, that's a lot of shots, J Brad, member of the channel, J Brad, we appreciate you, J Brad. Thank you so much. Did either of you guys see Defunct Land's newest video on the history of animatronics? It's so informative. I have not, and I've been meaning to do that. I love Defunct Land. OG is a huge fan of his work. He does amazing stuff. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and watch it yet, but I definitely want to. I'm sure it's incredible. But have you seen it yet, Mr. Webba?
I have not. However, I just out of curiosity watched a lot, because it's interesting but kind of creepy. Watched a lot of videos of like well, it might have been on some of his channels. I'm not sure. I just went through watching random videos of like abandoned like theme parks and like audio animatronics, especially ones that are like underwater. I kind of found that I have like a slight, like a kind of a phobia of like these underwater like abandoned audio animatronics, or just audio animatronics in general, because something about the water, the darkness, and like this piece of machinery underwater just like grabbing you, dude, it freaks me out, dude.
That's wild.
So, yeah.
Absolutely wild. Yeah, no, do you have a fear of water? Like, I used to have a childhood friend who I'm still friends with, actually, Natalie. She's awesome. Shout out to Natalie if she's watching. No, but Natalie had an intense fear of the ocean. Like not knowing what's in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's in there, but not knowing like what's in there where like you are, like, do you have that issue like with what, like going into the ocean and like not knowing what's around you, or no?
No. Okay, let's put it like this. If you put me at Universal Studios in like the Jaws inside the water there, and I saw the mechanical shark moving around, I would freak out.
The mechanical shark?
Yeah, because like in the tour, like in the Jaws area, and the shark comes up and everything. Well, stuff like that, where like audio animatronics being underwater, the idea just freaks me out. If like you're under there and you see like this piece of machinery just moving around, dude, like that gives you the creeps, dude.
The heebie-jeebies, huh?
The heebie-jeebies, man.
Cliffix here says Walt must only say something that he was recorded saying. I agree with you, and Cliffix, I completely agree with you. And that's actually Disney did come out and say that they are only using audio of Walt Disney, so that was really reassuring. I like that a lot. Burbank can't put one single extra word in his mouth. It can't be a modern interpretation of Walt's thoughts. What if what if we get the Walt animatronic and he short circuits and he does a Chapek quote?
Apologize for not being the ally that you needed me to be.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would be funny. That would be really funny. Can you imagine? That would be really funny. And thank you so much, Cliffix. We appreciate you. We do appreciate
you.
Thank you, Cliffix. Yeah, 100%. And that you're right. It has to be Walt saying Walt stuff. But you brought up a great point, Webba, in one of the recent videos where the audio is for Walt because he died like, you know, what, 1966? I mean, that's a while ago. Isn't exactly like super crisp. Like you can tell there's a little bit of that static in there. Yeah, and how's that going to be, right? When he's saying it, but it doesn't. It sounds like a recording because of the quality.
Right, exactly. Like it sounds like that kind of 1950s, like kind of radio sound quality to it. And I hope that, you know, I'm pretty sure we have the technology to do it, especially Disney. But I hope, yes, keep exactly what he said, but just kind of clean up the quality of the audio so it sounds like how you guys are hearing us now, not like this kind of 1950s 60s grainy audio sound like on a old radio or something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, here, actually, real quick. J-Brad, I'm going to get to you in just a second. I just want to, because this is relevant to what we were just talking about. Cliffix said, use AI to clean up the 1960s recordings.
There you go. See? Perfect. Great use for AI.
Boom. And that's the thing. There's an appropriate use for this technology. Like nobody is saying that we should get rid of AI altogether. There's an appropriate use for AI. Absolutely. You want to move forward. You want to progress. Absolutely. You don't want to put that, you know, you don't want to put a cap on progress. At the same time, though, you know, we don't want to go overboard either, where it's taking over and we lose the humanity of it all. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great use of AI. Mr. Cliffix, I completely agree with you. J. Brad here says, Webba, there's actually a term for that. It's called submechanophobia. Oh, look at J. Brad dropping the facts on you, Webba.
Thanks, J. Brad.
you got submechanophobia, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling OG, just when you have time, or any of you guys have time, go home, just watch videos of like abandoned or just like underwater audio animatronics. It's creepy, dude. Like I think I'm more scared of that than like real stuff being in there. Like just something about a mechanical thing, because you know how like some people like, okay, for example, Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Some people have a fear of like audio animatronics. Mine is like ones if I'm in the water with it, like I'm going to get eaten and like chopped up into bits by this like mechanical machinery thing in the depths of hell or something in the water. Like, oh, I don't know, man.
That'd be crazy. You know, there's I'm sure if you Google it, you probably find it. A lot of the old Chuck E. Cheese animatronics.
Yeah.
There's like an old Chuck E. Cheese. What's the mouse's name? I don't even remember. Chucky? Is that his name?
Chucky. Yeah.
No, is it Chucky? Okay. Chucky in like a landfill. And you freak. Yeah, the old Chucky animatronic, the little mouse or whatever. And it's like sitting in a landfill. And you would freak out of it because it's like it looks all creepy because it's dirty, and then like some of the metal's like exposed, you know.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's totally Five Nights at Freddy's, like 100% Five Nights at Freddy's. So
man,
we have someone new to the channel. I haven't seen this guy before, George Falcione.
He is new, huh? I haven't seen him before.
Yeah, he's new. You haven't seen him before. Welcome to the channel, George. We appreciate you. Yeah, it was much better than the hunk of metal in Adventureland. So he's talking about the Aladdin spinner carpet thing in Adventureland.
Oh yeah. All right, that's a crappy ride. Get rid of it.
Yeah, get rid of it. Get out of here. And Drew says, "Who is this George guy?" I have no idea, man. He just came in. You know, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, man. I don't know. Just some George guy. You know. That's his new name, some George guy.
Some George guy.
Some George guy. J. Brad here says submechanophobia is a fear of submerged objects, which is not to be confused with Thalassophobia, which is the fear of the open ocean. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so my friend
nice.
my friend Natalie has the thalassophobia thing.
Actually, it's funny, OG. My wife has the same thing, which is why she's so afraid to go on cruises. Because she has one, she's afraid of Titanic, but two, she's afraid of just open water of like nothingness.
Yeah, I feel you. But you know what though? Okay, so your wife, I don't want to say her name because I don't know if she wants her name out here, but your lovely wife, I think she would love the cruise line.
Oh, I do too. I do, absolutely. I think so too.
We have to get her on it. We have to.
Yeah.
We'll all go together, make her feel safe,
Yeah.
And I think she would love it. I really do. And you do feel it, we'll be upfront with her. We'll tell her, hey, look, you know what? You do feel a little bounce to the ounce, you know what I'm saying? Like Ice Cube.
Yeah.
You do feel that bounce, but it's not in a scary way,
Right.
It's in a kind of laid back, chill, kind of waterbed way, So, yeah. And Drew here says we love George. There we go. We do. We love the new guy. He's awesome. We love we love the new guy. Hold on. I missed a Shane Narani message. Shane Narani, thank you so much for joining us. Have you ever thought about how an IP attraction or land would change according to which park it goes into? Oh, I've thought about this so much because I'm a nerd.
Yes, you are.
There are so many ways you can take, for example, a Stitch attraction and you can put it in Tomorrowland, which would be more of the space angle to Stitch, right? But then you can turn around and you can put a Stitch attraction in a land about Polynesia, like a Polynesian land. And now you lean more into the Hawaiian sort of element of Stitch, right? So it's the same IP, but two very different approaches, right? So even Star Wars, this is one thing I love about Star Wars is that you can kind of do the same thing with a lot of it. Because Star Wars, like if you look at a lot of Star Wars stuff, like Mando, like Mandalorian, is that kind of cowboy Western kind of vibe. But then you take something like Rogue One and it's more like war and military. Two very different things, same IP. So there's a lot of that. Star Wars, you can do 10 different approaches to Star Wars. Okay. I mean, look at the new show right now, Skeleton Crew. It has like an Amblin Entertainment 1980s Goonies vibe. Right. Completely different than like the Acolyte or Mandalorian. You can switch that up any way you want. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can do that with a lot of IP, Shane. I love that question. It's brilliant. What say you, Mr. Webba?
Yeah, and actually going off that too, because there's always a lot of talk about. Well, I'll say first of all, I agree with you, but there's always a lot of talk about like parks cloning attractions.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to clone attractions, but you want to keep IPs, why not do what you said, OG, right? If you have an IP that can work in two different settings or multiple different settings, do that instead. That way you have a multitude of different experiences.
Exactly. You can put, and I know my Animal Kingdom people are going to absolutely hate me for this, but you can even put a Star Wars experience or something in Animal Kingdom, but have that Star Wars, even like Miniland, have it focus on the creatures of the planet, whatever planet they want to go with. So it can be like an alien, like a creature petting zoo, essentially, with banthas and stuff. It's animals, but it's of animals of another planet, which would be kind of cool. But that would be a different approach of bringing Star Wars as an IP into a park about animals. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great question, Shane Narani. That's almost so good. We might have to do like a whole video on that because that's dope. I love that. Absolutely. Cassandra Chamberlain says here, how would you feel if the Madame Leota store was really an interactive seance experience where you could have your fortune told by Leota? I would like that. That would be actually kind of cool if they just incorporate that into the store somehow. It's big enough.
Yeah.
It's definitely big enough. I mean, it's huge. So why not put like in the corner somewhere, have like a Leota face character or like, where she can like do the seance and kind of tell your fortune. It'd be kind of a fun thing for guests, Obviously you would keep it light. You're not gonna be like, you're gonna die in a train accident on the 15th of 2052. You don't want anything crazy or dark, but just fun kind of like, fortune telling by Leota. I don't know, it'd be fun. You can even charge for it, There you go, Burbank. What about you? What do you think?
But OG, what if I want to know when I die though?
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the weird. Oh man, we're gonna go real deep right now. But like,
Let's
knowing
go
when
all
you
the way, bro.
would you? So okay, if you knew the date that you died, right?
Yeah.
It's both terrifying and also liberating at the same time. Because think about it, like if let's say for example I did my fortune and the fortune teller tells me, okay, OG, you're gonna die in the year 2060. Okay. It sucks like 2060. Oh fuck, I'm not gonna live past 2060, right? But
Right.
it's also liberating because now I know whatever I do from now until then, I'm not gonna die. I can go
That's true.
skydiving. I can do whatever I want because I'm not gonna die. I'm not dying until the 2060. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it kind of liberates you, but at the same time, you know your death date. So it's also sort of depressing when you're, getting close to that day. But what say you, Webba? Would you want to know, or would you prefer just not to know?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's hard because if I were to know, I would want to know how it's done, right? Like, I don't want to be murdered or like die from drowning or something like that, right? Or be eaten by a shark or by some, scary, underwater audio animatronic. But something like quick or peaceful or whatever. But yeah, I think that would be fine. Now if it was like, oh yeah, you're gonna die like next year. Okay, now I'm like freaked out.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. If it's like way out in the future, you go like, oh, I can live my life. I can do whatever I want because I'm not going to die until, for another 30, 40 years, It's like
Yeah.
liberating, but you're right. If you find out it's in 2 years and oh, fuck, yeah.
Exactly.
It-
But in terms of like the interactive experience, yeah, that'd be cool because it's kind of like in a way, I'm thinking it kind of being like that uh at Universal and Harry Potter with the with the wand
oh,
experience.
yeah. It like
I don't
chooses
know.
you. The wand chooses you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
absolutely.
so maybe they can play with that and do some type of interactive experience like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be really fun. Really, really fun. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Kind of lean into that Ollivander Wandhouse sort of vibe, right?
Right.
Do
Yeah.
how? Oh, I like that, Webba. Anyone at Imagineering, if you're watching this, listen to this man. Listen to this man. Drew, the Disney dude here says, whatever you do, don't say that on Twitter. You'll get attacked. It's so toxic. Yeah, I know. I don't really go on Twitter that much anymore, Drew, because of that. It's gotten so bad. It's
Oh,
gotten so bad. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Like I'm way more just on here, like the YouTube channel and on Instagram.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny, Drew. I was on Twitter for a while, but I got off because I was telling this guy here how toxic it was, and the fan base was just insane.
Yeah.
And I'll say it. I'll say it again. That to discuss stuff, right? The parks, nerd stuff. I would rather do this or talk like in person and discuss, thoughts, ideas, opinions. Because I feel like when you go on social media and try to do this, people can misread on how or what you're saying and stuff. And on top of that, I personally just don't want to sit there for hours at a time writing a 5-page essay on why I think I'm right. I just don't. So I would rather just be on here on the channel, talking to you guys, talking to this great dude over here, the new guy, George, just about all the nerdy stuff, getting our thoughts out, and yeah, just having fun with it, man. But Twitter, off it. Now I'm just on Instagram mostly. Threads, kind of, but Threads, OG, I'm pretty sure you saw as well. It's weird, dude. I get a mix of like Disney stuff, and then I get a mix of like, some not so PG stuff on there for some reason.
Yeah. It's thirst trap city over there. But and then again, so is Instagram. I'm scrolling through my feed, going, "Oh shit, okay,"
That's true. That's true.
It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. But Drew here says I spent too long building my account to leave it at this point. Unfortunately, yeah, I feel you, Drew,
Right.
and that's why I haven't deactivated as well. I'm not completely off of it either. I've been actually retweeting a lot of the news in regards to the LA fire, kind of keep everyone up to date because a lot of us out here, the Disneylanders, we kind of live in a lot of these areas that are impacted. So I've been kind of retweeting and trying to keep people updated on that. But like, yeah, I feel you. I have a good following on Twitter. I don't want to lose that either, and it's you don't want to deactivate, but at the same time, okay, full disclosure, I have anxiety disorder. Okay, I do. I have anxiety. Your boy OG has anxiety, and so a lot of times X, it's just not a good combination for anxiety. it's it can lead to issues. So I kind of try to stay off it just for my own mental, you know what I'm saying? But it's a conundrum. It's a tough one because you build these big, you build these accounts, and you have a huge account, Drew, and so I don't have a huge one, but I have a good following. I think like 6,000 followers or something. And it's like, it's a lot of work that you put into that, and you don't want to lose all that. So it's kind of tough,
Well, gee, Andrew, on top of that too, you're also your name and username are tied to that account, and you don't want to lose, like the channel or like the name of what your account is for your followers either. And once you delete it, now that's up for grabs for somebody else, and you don't want that as well.
That's exactly it too, 100%. And then Drew here says, I have horrible anxiety too. Somehow the support on Twitter has helped with it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh. Everyone's different, Drew, and that's awesome. I'm really glad that it has helped with you. That's awesome. Yeah, anxiety is really not fun. I've actually been watching. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm going to see if I can find her account. I've actually been watching this lovely gal on YouTube lately. Let me see if I can find her. Give me just a second. Okay, so I'm not gonna play her video or anything right now because it has nothing to do really with what we do here on the channel. Maybe one day I'll do like a side video for members or something. But this gal right here, her name is Tierra Lorraine. Okay, and she actually suffers from borderline personality disorder. I don't have borderline. I do have OCD and I do have anxiety attacks for sure. But I love her content because even though I don't have borderline, I like to watch her and how she deals with her kind of mental health. It does help me a lot. And she super down to earth. And I don't know. I just found her. I think she's fantastic. And she's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But yeah, whatever you can do, Drew, that helps you, whether it's Twitter or like what I do, I watch other content creators that suffer from other anxiety disorders, and I kind of watch them and kind of learn from it. Whatever you can do, brother, whatever you can do. So, and you can always, honestly, if anyone ever suffers from anxiety that's watching this channel, you can always reach out to me and we could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. Where were we? I think we had a joke from Jay about something. Oh yeah, this is about the new guy, George. Now I'm just in the group chat getting sexually harassed by the Italian. Yeah, see, we have a group chat, a text chat, and George makes all his funny jokes. And Jay, you're a funny bro. Jay Shear in the house, by the way. Jay Shear hosts a show on the channel called Story Geeks. Amazing. I love Jay. He's a filmmaker. We just mentioned Jay actually earlier on the show about his short film, No Vacancy.
It's great.
Yeah, amazing guy. And so I'm sorry, Webba, go ahead.
I was gonna say, hey Jay, if that becomes a problem, so just let me know, and I'll make sure to sexually harass George in his dreams.
yeah, I know. George had a dream about Webba. Like that was something else, George. That was something else. You woke up and you guys were like spooning or something. Like what was it? It was weird.
Oh yeah. Well, I was in his dream, bro. I was spooning him big time, bro. Just with the biggest smile.
There you go. I don't know. That's great. That's great. James Georgie here says, "What's your prediction for Captain America: Brave New World's box office?" Ooh, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. I can tell you what. I don't think it's going to do as good as Fantastic Four. I'm pretty sure of that. There might be a curiosity factor in there because Harrison Ford playing Red Hulk is pretty interesting. At least for me. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it could.
I'd say
that. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say 700 million.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good, actually. I'm going to say around there. I don't think it's going to be a flop. It's not going to bomb, but it's not going to do like Moana numbers, like $1 billion. So yeah, somewhere in between, like not a flop and like not Moana. It'll be a decent size hit probably. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really curious about the Red Hulk with Harrison Ford. I love Harrison. Yeah. 100%. 100%. And Jay Shear says he's a fan. He's a fan of Threads. Yeah, I see you're pretty active on there, Jay. That's interesting. Yeah. I have it. I don't really use it, that much. I'm mostly right now on Instagram, to be honest with you. Occasionally I'll dip into the Blue Sky thing, and Threads very here and there, very here
Yeah,
and there.
I think I would use Threads more, Jay, if I wasn't constantly bombarded by other stuff that is like what OG said, thirst traps on there. You know what I mean? Like, because I'll see like Disney stuff, video game stuff, then all of a sudden you got some chick in her bikini. I'm like, whoa, what's like? I'm trying to nerd out here. You know what I mean? And it's like just a mix up, and like I saw that when I first downloaded like Instagram, it became really official active on it, and then Threads, and I was like, whoa, what the hell's going on in here?
Yeah.
I think if a lot of that was cut out and it was just focused on like the stuff I'm following and whatnot, it would be, I would use a lot more because I will see a lot more relevant stuff I want to see and interact with.
Okay, but here's the caveat though. Like you said, you're scrolling through. Sometimes you'll see a chick with a bikini, but you just want to nerd out. But what if you see a chick in a Spider-Man bikini? Does that fill all your needs? then Webba's like, oh, we're good now. We're good. We're good.
We're okay.
That works. That works. Jay Shear says, okay. I like where Jay is going with this. It's an interesting conversation to have, actually. Brave New World gets 425 million.
Ooh.
He says, I don't think the normies are going to show up in force for Sam as Cap. Yeah, I like Sam though. I like him a lot, but you might be right about that. You know what I'm saying?
But
they might.
I will say though, for Jay and OG, like, I mean that I could see that, but man, that's pretty low for a Marvel film, then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm used to like at least like 600 million at least.
Well, it would be low. Yeah, Jay's saying it would be pretty decent, but yeah, it would be. That's pretty. I mean, it would be decent, I guess, or mid or whatever. It would definitely not be what like a lot of what you would expect from a Captain America movie, right? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, he says if Chris Evans was still Cap, that's 800 million. People love Steve Rogers. People love his booty, is what they love. That's America's ass right there.
America's ass.
That's what they love. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. We got James Georgie here says heard Mufasa doing well for herself. Yeah, it's actually not doing so bad.
Yeah. Actually, it's a big turnaround from Mufasa, because Mufasa, the opening box office for domestic was pretty abysmal. And then it turned around and it was able to, get a hold of its legs and start going up. Now, here's the thing with Mufasa. I haven't watched it. George did. He said it was, pretty decent. But I don't think it's going to do $1 billion for sure. I know that the first movie did $1 billion, but I don't think this is going to hit $1 billion. I do think, however, this movie would have done probably better if like Moana wasn't out at the same time, or at least the same month. Because now you have pretty much Disney's like competing with itself, basicly.
Right. Hey, you ain't lying.
There you go.
You ain't lying. Dragonblood here says Ebba wants Captain America's carousel at Avengers Campus.
No.
No, is that what you want, bro? Oh, that's hilarious.
Hey, I can imagine it, bro. Like some of the seats are like his shield. You sit down in the shield and just.
And every now and then you get like the American Eagle. Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh man.
Jesse Adventure here says I really want to see LAO. I'm really hoping it's good. Yeah, actually it's crazy, Jesse, and thank you for being a member, by the way. We do appreciate you. It's funny because I didn't really have a whole lot of interest in it initially, and then we were at D23 and we had the studio panel, and a lot of stuff they showed us at that panel. Cassandra, I love her so much. She is amazing. We'll get to that in a moment, Cassandra. That's so funny. Jesse, the footage they showed us was very encouraging. So I'm actually on board now. I'm on the LAO hype train for sure. What about you, Eva?
Well, I haven't seen it. Which one is that?
The one with the kid with the aliens.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I do want to see that. And also, here's the thing too. I love me some aliens. So bring it on.
Bring it on, bring it on. Cassandra here says, "All right, Captain America." Oh man, Cassandra.
All right, hey, you know what, Cassandra, we'll get that right just for you, okay?
There you go. There you go. She would ride Captain America. There we go. Mr. Jay Shear. I just looked up the production budget for Brave New World. They're saying it's 375 million. Yikes!
Ooh.
Did not know that. That is high. Yeah, that is pretty high. So it would have to do basically what Ebba was saying to even like break even. Jay, I mean like 700 milli to break even almost. So
Man, I do. And Jay, like this is the thing, dude. I mean, I would probably assume maybe some of that was from Mr. Harrison Ford because he's so awesome. They're like, here's the dump truck full of money. Come be, Red Hulk. But on the serious note, I don't know what's up with Disney and these high budgeted, like these high cost of films. Like, isn't there a way they can lower the cost so that way they reap more of the profit from these movies? It's insane.
Well, and that's the dilemma they're in. We had a question earlier from Cortex about AI, right? AI would lower those costs, but then you lose the human element, and that's horrible. So there's a lot of like, dilemmas here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good night, Drew. We appreciate you for joining us today.
Bye, Drew. Good night. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. So it's like, okay, for example, like, a lot of people say, well, Universal keeps their production budget down. Well, they keep their production budgets down for like DreamWorks because they outsource a lot of that stuff. Do we want an American icon like Disney, that really did innovate and birth the animation industry in a lot of ways? Do we want that to be outsourced? Do we want them to move out of Burbank and overseas? I don't think many people would want that. But see, that's part of the lower cost. Like, people want low cost, but it does come at a price, right? So there's definitely, it's a balancing act. It's you have to lower the cost though. You do, but it's very hard to balance out like where you cut, maintain the quality. You don't want to cut too much, but you want to cut enough. It's hard. It's not easy. Anyone that's involved with that at the studio, especially at Disney, I don't envy them at all.
Yeah, that's tough because especially as prices are going up on everything. People are complaining about not being able to afford stuff. The people want higher wages, and I mean compared to some other parts of the world where the wages are a lot lower. You could do it for a lot cheaper. I mean, labor is always one of companies' biggest things that they cut first.
Yeah.
So, and that's like you say, that's a hard balancing act. And I honestly don't know how they're going to do it. I hope they find a way, but unfortunately, it might have to come at a deep cost, I think.
Yeah. It's tough. It's definitely an issue for Disney, and they got to figure that out. Jay here says, I'm still in for a Parks AI video. Yes, we are. We want to. Basically, for those of you at home, I want to do a video with Jay, Webba, George, Slimer. Actually, it was Slimer's idea. And Seymour too. Full house. Just have everybody, and just talk about how AI might impact the parks going forward. How it might affect attractions, how it might affect animatronics. All this stuff. How it might affect Imagineering, right, and the labor force and all that. So we're definitely gonna do that video, Jay. Like, we have to. I got to get a group text going. I'll tell George to be on his best behavior. No sex jokes in the group chats. But we got to figure out a way to sort of lock down a day for all of us to break that down. Because that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. And Lucas Kim is in the house. Lucas, hello, sir. We do appreciate you. Lucas is a friend of the channel. Lucas, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We do appreciate you. And then Jay continues. I think you're right about reshoots and CGI. Yeah, that's where the cost is probably coming from. Absolutely. And then this is the post that Jay was referring to. That is probably because of the massive reshoots. I wonder if there are any tax incentives. Yeah. And then Lucas says AI can be a can of worms. I don't know if it's a good thing, a good idea, depending on how Disney and Imagineers are doing it. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Lucas. AI is great technology. It's interesting. It opens a lot of doors for some pretty cool stuff. But at the same time, if it's abused or overused, it can also be a detriment. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
So we'll see. And then we'll take one more comment and then we'll get out of here. J. Brad, Spider-Man 2 cost $200 million and made 3 times that. That's over $200 million difference between that and Brave New World. Crazy. Absolutely
Right.
crazy.
Well, also here's the thing too. Spider-Man 2 was awesome.
Yeah, because you are Spider-Man, bro. You got a fat check for that one, didn't you?
Oh, dude, man, I got a big payday for that. No,
You got
just
a bit,
kidding.
you know what I'm saying? You got paid, bro. You got paid, dude. You know?
But you know what though? Where's my special access still? I still don't have it. Come on.
I know. I gotta call Bob, dude. I gotta get you on that special access. You know what I'm saying? Webba, it is always a good time, brother. Always a fun time having Webba in the house. If you could let everybody at home know where they can find you on social media, sir.
Absolutely, OG. Thank you so much for having me on this live. It was a blast. Thank you, everybody, for coming and watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel on OG55. You can find me on Twitter, Mr. Webba at Webslinger760, Threads and X. No, sorry, not X. Threads and Instagram, Mr. Webba at Cobweb91.
Yes, absolutely. And good night to everybody. Arlene, thank you so much for joining us. Heart hands right back at you. I'll even give you a heart. I don't know what this would be called, but yeah, a big heart and a couple little hearts. There we go. There we go. But thank you so much. And Cassandra, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty scary out here, but like, you know, I'm kind of in between all these fires. Like the new one out there in Calabasas isn't too far from me, but then neither is the one that's like behind Universal, and like actually even the Palisades one is not too. I'm like literally in between all of these, so hopefully nothing comes in my direction. But again, I want to reiterate, California, we will get through this. Okay, we will absolutely get through this. I want to thank all the men and women of LA Fire Department. You guys and gals are absolutely incredible. And yeah, we will absolutely get through this, but it's a rough patch for sure. But thank you, Cassandra. We do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching this episode of OG55 Live. Comment down below with all your thoughts on everything we discussed today. We would absolutely love to hear from you. And until the next time, see you later, alligator. And now we're gonna let the queen take it away. Her name is Asian Queen on Instagram with 3 E's. She is absolutely amazing. And here she is to close us out, the queen.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.